Yeah, hi. 13 hours ago, phys.org. Scientists confirmed thermonuclear fusion in a sheared flow C-pinch device. In findings that could help advance another viable pathway to fusion energy. Research led by Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory in physicists has proven the existence of neutrons produced through thermonuclear reactions from sheared flow stabilized C-pinch device. The researchers used an advanced computer modeling techniques and diagnostic measurement devices honed at to solve a decade-old problem of distinguishing neutrons produced by thermonuclear reactions from ones produced by ion beam-driven instabilities for plasma in the magnetic inertial fusion regime. While the team's previous research showed neutrons measured from shear flow stabilized C-pinch devices were consistent with thermonuclear production, we hadn't completely proven it yet, said physicist Drew Higginson, one of the co-authors of a paper recently published in Physics of Plasma. This is direct proof that thermonuclear fusion produces these neutrons and not ions driven by beam instabilities, said Higginson, principal investigator of the Portable and Adaptable Neutral Diagnostics PANDA team that is doing research under a Department of Energy Advanced Research Projects Agency Energy, ARPA-E, cooperative agreement. It's not proven they're going to get energy gain, but it is promising. It is a promising result that suggests they are on favorable path. Physicist James Mitrani was the lead author on the paper, which demonstrates how lab's broad range of research is benefiting the larger fusion community beyond the major advancements by NL's National Ignition Facility, the world's most energetic laser system. The research only focused on this one device, Mitrani said, but the general techniques and concepts are applicable to a lot of fusion devices in this intermediate magneto-inertial fusion regime. He noted that regime operates in the area between laser fusion facilities such as NIF and the Omega Laser Facility at the University of Rochester, and fusion devices that confine plasmas in the purely magnetic regime. What? Purely magnetic regime. You don't get magneticity without electricity and vice versa. But anyway, let's continue. I haven't read it yet. I was just too excited about the title. Since August, NIF has generated buzz throughout the global scientific community because an inertial confinement fusion experiment yielded a record 1.35 megajoules of energy. That milestone brought researchers to the threshold of ignition, defined by the National Academy of Sciences and the National Nuclear Security Administration, as when a NIF implosion produces more fusion energy than the amount of laser energy delivered to the target. That shot was preceded by progress NUL researchers made in achieving a burning plasma state in a laboratory. Experiments. Fusion is the energy source found in the sun, stars, and thermonuclear weapons. NIF's ICF experiments focus 192 laser beams on a small target to compress and heat partially frozen hydrogen isotopes inside a fuel capsule, creating an implosion replicating the conditions of pressure and temperature found only in the cores of stars and giant planets, and in exploding nuclear weapons. C-pinch machines accomplish fusion using a powerful magnetic field to confine and pinch the plasma. The C-pinch concept is relatively simple is a relatively simple design that has existed as a theoretical model since 1930s. But Higginson noted it had long history of terrible instabilities that hindered the ability to generate the conditions needed to attain a net fusion energy gain. Yeah, because they are just talking about magnetics and nothing, not a single word about electricity. Still not. I'm still waiting. Now let's go to that quickly. In the 1990s, new scientists began working with University of Washington researchers to advance another promising path toward ignition, the shear flow stabilized C-pinch concept. Instead of powerful stabilizing magnets used in other C-pinch devices, shear flow stabilized C-pinch devices use pulsed electrical current to generate a magnetic field flowing through a column of plasma to reduce fusion disrupting instabilities. Electricity. Finally, the problem with instabilities is that they don't create a viable path to energy production, whereas thermonuclear fusion does, Higginson says. It's always been tricky to diagnose this difference, especially in a C-pinch. In 2015, L and UW researchers were awarded with 5.28 million ARPA-E cooperative agreement to test the physics of pinch stabilization at higher energies and pinch current under the university's fusion C-pinch experiment FUSE. 5.28 million. Under subsequent ARPA-E capability team cooperative agreement. Researchers focused on diagnostics that measured the neutron emissions produced during the fusion process, including the spatial locations and the time profiles of those emissions. Combining the plasma diagnostic expertise of national laboratories and the agile operation of private companies draws on each of their individual strengths and is a key objective of the ARPA-E fusion capability team program. How long is that still? That's really long. Yeah, but I don't want to bore you. You can read the rest. I wanted to show you something quickly. This is the paper I wrote. That's the front page, so to say. C-pinch stone. I call it C-pinch stone because it is a C-pinch stone. Furthermore, I would suggest to you read that paper. You can download it for free. I will put a link below. A note 2003. Characteristics for the occurrence of a high current C-pinch aurora as recorded in antiquity. I won't bore you with reading that. Birkeland currents. Some of the pictures I used in my own paper are from this paper. This is one of the papers of the papers. If you want to go down the rabbit hole, that's a good paper to start. Tells about petroglyphs, C-pinches, the role of electricity in history. Switzerland is mentioned. I don't know if is Finland mentioned too. No. Scatterman. All these kind of things. And now I wanted to show you something else too about plasma. The Safire Project. Just have a quick listen to that, then I will leave you alone until the next time.
We asked him, if we put our probe close to the anode, what's going to happen to it? If you're in this range of densities and electron temperatures, then this is what's going to happen to your probe. This must have been for a certain distance away, maybe like a centimeter away or something like that, right?
This is not just some sort of layered linear plasma. These are rings. They're round rings.
Studies done at MIT have shown that when radioactive waste is exposed to hydrogen isotope nuclei, the decay rate of the radioactive material can be accelerated, even to the point of neutralizing the radioactivity. Safire creates an environment where hydrogen nuclei interact with other elements, creating double-layer shells. Within these shells, electrons, ions, and molecules are trapped by powerful electromagnetic fields. It is in this environment where radioactive material would be exposed to the hydrogen nuclei to remediate the radioactivity of that material.
Yes. I will also leave a link to this video below. But it's really interesting to stumble across C-Pinch news. It's really nice. Yes, thanks. Bye.